So how do you personally say goodbye to someone? Saying goodbye is a major theme here in season three of Harlem.
Mm. How do I personally say goodbye?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not good at it, to be honest. I'm,
Understandable.
yeah, I'm not one of those. I envy people that are able to shut things off emotionally and just move forward really quickly. I'm not one of those
Mhm.
people. So I have a strong attachment to people and things and stuff when I am really invested. So for me, I have to do some type of ritual or closure or final conversation, just something. Because people are like, you don't need closure. And I'm like, no, we need to sit down and talk face to face and then I can move on. I don't want to end it via technology. I need an official goodbye. Yes, I'm
Yes.
that person. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're all Camille. It's like, oh no, 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 no. We're not doing this. We're not just having it be like and ellipses.
Yep.
Uh, so with that in mind, like season three really zeroes in on the whole endings and beginnings duality foil model, and our girls are always in like transition throughout the entire show, but especially this season, right? How do you approach growth for each of our lovely ladies?
What I did, honestly, so when I first started mapping out season three, I'll be
Mhm.
honest, I didn't know it was the final season. So I had them go in completely different directions. And then I was told midway through the writer's room, this is most likely the final season. If you want to change anything, do it now, or this is just how it's going to be, and you'll leave your fate up to the universe. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. If this is the end, then I'm going to rewrite the entire season. And so at that point, I looked back at the beginning and I was like, what I would like to do is really the inverse of where we started. So if this
Mhm.
is the end, I want everybody to have a full arc from where they were. And so for Angie, she was a struggling artist at the
Mhm.
beginning of the season, and living with Quinn and not finding her way, and then, very free spirited and sexual and all. And I was like, all right, what's the opposite of that? What feels like the most satisfying version of her dream, but also she's still going to be who she is. Like
Right.
she's not gonna, we're not gonna pigeonhole her and make her like, a Stepford wife and she has no, it's Angie at her core, but like accomplishing her dreams. And
Mhm.
with Camille, I was like, this is someone who's never had clarity on her professional and personal life, and like maybe life forces that clarity that she's unable to find for herself. Maybe she's
Mhm.
put into a position where, everything now has to come together in this way that you weren't expecting. And with Quinn, um, she's a romantic like me, and so I wanted her to find love in a certain way, but in a surprising way. And I hope that it resonates with people. But I took a swing there with that, and then with Ty, she has always done well professionally. So I was like, let's not do that with her. Let's focus on her being vulnerable with someone and having to get over her emotional stuff. So that's how I rerouted it. That was not what the original season three looked like, but yeah.
Wow. The journey becomes the journey no matter where it leads,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And also, sometimes things that are written a while ago can feel extremely like of the moment. I will confess, after watching episode one, I was like, "What? Just, is Tracy like Octavia Butler? Like, tell me what happens. Is there anything bad we should be looking out for?" How do you feel that the season maps onto certain like cultural conversations that we're having right now around birthing, around abortion, about like workplace and love and sisterhood?
hmm Um, I didn't know. I didn't know we were going in this direction.
Right.
I personally was in this moment of like, oh, I'm getting to this age where I should start to think about these things. And then in the middle
Mhm.
of that, like Roe v. Wade was like getting, overturned and all these. And I was like, oh my God, like there's so many things happening in the outside world that are influencing the writer's room, but then not really because we were already talking about it. So it just kind of all accidentally feels, yeah, relevant.
Just
Yeah.
happens that way.
Yep.
Gosh. So Harlem is also like a very personal story for you, right? I imagine that it's going to serve as like sort of another pillar of this like burgeoning genre of dramas that we have, like Insecure and
Yeah.
Fleabag and Sort of, and Please Don't Hate Me or Please Like Me. What would you have for a filmmaker who's trying to make art in the future that was inspired by Harlem? What would you say to them?
It's funny you asked me that. I was actually just saying, so like a couple months ago, my assistant emails me and says, "Hey, there's a new writer that wants to do a new version of Harlem and wants to look at your pitch deck and your lookbook. They're just curious what materials you use to sell the show. Can they have that?" And there's two ways to look at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could be insulted or you could be like flattered. And I was so incredibly flattered by this because when I was in my 20s, I would read Shonda Rhimes scripts and I would
Oh.
go to like the guild and I would just read because at that point everything wasn't just online and it was really hard to just get actual copies of scripts. So I would go to the guild library and read and study people that I was like, oh, I like their voice or I like what they're doing. And so the fact that somebody asked to read my stuff and study it, like because they want to do another version of it, I was like, well, that's inspiring. That because I'm proving to you that a show like this can exist.
Exactly.
And that to me was what Shonda did. I was like, oh, I can be a professional writer because look at this Black woman. So for comedy writers, they can point to people like me now and be like, I want to see how you did it. And so I need to make myself available, but I'm flattered that people want to read or look at because I do beautiful lookbooks too. I don't think people
We
know
can
that,
tell.
but
We can
oh, well,
tell.
thank you. I put a lot of energy into the look of things, and it's not just writing for me, it's all of it. I'm inspired by every single detail. And so I think that's the thing that people will be surprised about when they see my original material is how beautiful it is too.
Mm. Yeah,
Like
yeah. Well,
aesthetically. Yeah.
right. And even if we do like a revised, modern version of Harlem, I hopefully they just take your style of guides because everybody looks amazing and all the framing, and I love the colors so much. Girls Trip the musical. Do we get in real life? It was about
Oh
last
my God, I'm trying to make it happen now. It was
night.
started as a joke. Oh my God, it was such a joke. And then it was like accidentally becoming good to me. So now I'm like, let's do this. I would love it.
We're gonna put it in there. We're gonna put it in the universe. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy, so much. Congratulations on the season. We really
No,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. I appreciate it.